Your team sucks, Jordan, even though I don't know who the hell your team is because you never make any damn decisions about who your team actually is. But whoever they are, I'm officially naming your team right now, Jordan. You're a Jets fan.
I'm a Dolphins fan.
You're not a Dolphins fan.
He's a Ravens fan.
You're a Ravens.
He's a Ravens fan.
I do like the Ravens, but no, I'm a diehard Dolphins fan. I like a lot of other teams, though.
Yeah. George?
He likes about 28 out of the 30-something teams.
George, right now, solve all the problems of the world. This COVID shit is making everybody crazy. It's making everybody nuts. George, what should give? Let's have a Dear Abby moment with Gorilla George. Let's have a Dear Abby moment. George, for all the people that are going to watch this, we get about a couple thousand people for every show that we put on here. So, George, what is your advice to people who are struggling with this COVID situation as it pertains to football and life? What's your advice, George?
I think you have to do a lot of drinking, heavy smoking, and get through it that way. I don't think there's any other way now. You just got to drink as much as you can, smoke as much as you can, and just try to get through these damn days.
That's terrible, horrible.
Well, I tried to gamble my way through it, and last week I got whooped. So I'm a little bit weary this week. I'm kind of weary. I don't know. I think I got 1 or 2 games on the board so far.
I think you're all right, man. I think you're going to be okay. It's a new week. There's some interesting games this week, but the COVID thing's got everybody discombobulated, man. Everybody's discombobulated. So, you get a pass for a week, George. It's all right. You're going to do much better.
I'll take the mulligan. I'll take the mulligan for last week. And
here's a little bit of advice. If you're taking your own advice and you're getting hammered drunk and smoking a bunch of ganja before you make your picks, that might explain it. By the way,
maybe I need to have a sober picking week this week. I don't know.
You might want to think about picking games when you're not high on peyote. Maybe
there you go.
Right,
that might help.
Getting high or taking drugs and then making picks is probably have a couple beers, relax a little bit. That's fine, right? But, like taking acid or, drinking an entire bottle of Jack Daniels is probably not the best way to pick games. But I don't know.
I was going to try some of that DMT next week and see if I can pick off that.
You know what happens when you do that, right? When you do an exorbitant amount of drugs and drink way too much, you know what happens, right, George?
Crash.
You look just like the guy in the middle frame there, right there, named Jordan. That's what
Captain Caveman.
Captain Caveman.
I don't even do delicious drugs.
Did you get a chance to look up Captain Caveman this week, Jordan?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
yeah, bro. You should, bro. If they do a remake or somebody does, you know how Hollywood always takes the old cartoons, George, and they make them into movies. Jordan, you may have a new calling, bro. You
pull the shirt off, give you a club, and you're in there.
You could be Captain Eppin Caveman. You could be, bro.
I would like you more. If you're Captain Caveman, I would like you a lot more.
I mean, because like people who are famous for anything anyway. So, it's all good, bro. It is all good. All right, let's make some damn picks. We're delirious.
Let's try to make some picks.
Don't take George's advice, by the way.
I never lose 2 weeks in a row, though. So take my picks.
Our U-Wager are kind enough to let us use their lines. So we're going to pick against the lines here, and we're going to have a good time, man. Everybody needs to just relax. Don't get drunk. That's not going to answer your problems. That's not going to make it better. But what you can do is pick some games and enjoy this week of the NFL. There's no ball games tonight. The games are happening sporadically, but the first game, the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears, it's a yawner. I'm yawning. I don't touch this game. I don't know what the hell is going to happen here at all. George?
Yeah, it's a horrible game. Stay away from it. Both teams are playing bad. I wouldn't know which one to pick. I couldn't even coin toss this game. Stay away.
Captain?
Interestingly enough, Lions, Bears, and Jaguars were the only 3 teams that did not win in November. So those are your no-win November specialists. And we got 2 of them playing. So one of them is going to win here unless we get a tie. Yeah, stay away from this. Don't even watch it.
All right. There we go. We have the Indianapolis Colts versus the Texans. The Texans all of a sudden, which I kind of suspected they were going to get better. Sean Watson's playing much, much better. With all that said, the Colts I think are going to beat them, and they're going to beat them by more than 3.5. I actually really like the Colts in this game. Gorilla, what's up?
It almost looks like a trap. I had the Colts last week. They let me down. I had the Colts ranked in my power top 5. They've definitely let me down, but I see them bouncing back against a struggling Houston team. I know they got better since they got Cornell back their coach. I mean, Cornell coaching for them right now, but you take the Colts and lay the 3 all day here.
No, I totally agree. That definitely you take the Colts here, especially since Will Fuller's going to be out, PEDs. I mean, that's their best weapon. Deshaun Watson is not going to will his way through the Colts defense here, and Colts are coming off of a big letdown last week. I see a bounce back game for them here. Look for them to stick it to the Texans.
All right, Jacksonville Jaguars at the Minnesota Vikings. Once again, a yawner. I don't touch this game either. I mean, I think the Vikings at 10.5 is a crazy line. I mean, you don't know what you're going to get really from either one of these teams. I know everybody's, Dalvin coach back, they're winning, and they lose. I mean, this is still not a great football team. And Jacksonville is pretty horrendous as bad. Who knows what the hell is going to happen in this game? I don't touch it. Gorilla.
The pros moved it from 8.5 to 10.5, so it went up over the total. I have this one in my teaser. I took Minnesota minus the half in my 10-point teaser, so that's one of my games there. But other than that, I wouldn't lay the points.
Jordan? I mean, Captain K, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's too many points for a pro game. Once again, stay away from it altogether.
Wow. And then you have this stellar matchup here. Really, the game of the century, the COVID Bowl. I don't even know why I call it that. I think all of them are the COVID Bowl now. The Raiders, who are coming off a beatdown, are running into the New York Jets, and it's only 8.5. The Raiders. I would take the Raiders here all day. They're going to be upset. They're going to be pissed off, and they're going to come in, and they're a far superior team than the New York Jets. And I think they win the game by at least 14 points. George?
This is another one that I put in my 10-point teaser, the Raiders, the Minnesota. I think the Raiders are going to win this game. It's a lot of points, but I think you're right. They're going to prove a point this week after getting embarrassed last week, and the Jets don't have anything to defend, so the Raiders all day.
Captain?
Yeah, I completely agree.
That's it. That's your take? It's going to be a good show today, everybody.
Bet the house.
That's the first time I have ever heard Jordan, a.k.a. Captain K-Man, ever just go, yeah, I totally agree. I mean, that's a first on this show. Yeah, I just totally agree.
He's learning his lesson. He just follow me and you'll be all right.
Oh, yeah. Not last week, but okay.
Last week, but my record's still good.
Yeah, that's what happens when you pick games high on peyote. What happened to you last week? So, all right,
Raiders and Colts.
I mean, this week is a challenging week because some of these games are just going to be hard to pick because a lot of them are not very competitive. Speaking of that, you have the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are at home, giving 11.5 points. That's a lot of points. I'm pretty sure Tua is not going to play. I'm pretty sure Fitzpatrick's going to play again. But if they were going to bring Tua back in, this would be the one to do it, right? I don't like it. I think the Dolphins win, but the Dolphins' offense is not that great. Their defense is vicious, but if their defense has any kind of a bad day, they could even lose this game. And so, I mean, their offense has to get better. Obviously, the Cincinnati Bengals are a good recipe for that because their defense is pretty bad. But I don't touch this one either. I don't like the points. George?
No, the points make this unbettable. I mean, if anything, you have to play the Bengals plus 11.5. This has backdoor written all over it.
Yeah.
I see a backdoor cover written all over this game. I see a 17-9 kind of final.
Captain?
Yeah, no, I really like the Bengals here. I would actually play the Bengals just because it's too many points. I like the Dolphins to win the game. I don't think they blow the game here, but the Bengals looked a lot better than I thought they would without Burrow last week in a loss. And the Dolphins did not look that good against the Jets. They certainly didn't just destroy them the way I thought they were going to. And 11.5 is a lot of points. So, yeah, give me the Bengals and the points.
You have to put that last week in perspective to a certain extent. It's a division game, and it is the Jets that they have their ex-coach that knows that personnel really well. I expected them to be. I honestly expected the first Dolphin-Jet game to be a lot more competitive than it was. I kind of expected it to be what the last one was, but with that said, the Dolphins if Fitz is going to play, right, they're going to do what Fitz does. I mean, they're either going to be really hot and just blow them out, or it's going to be really close and Fitz is going to throw a couple interceptions, and you just don't know. That's why you don't touch the game, in my opinion. I would not touch it. All right.
X is great, right? Xavier Howard has the most interceptions in the league. Their special teams has been fantastic. They really rely on that big play from defense and special teams, and if that doesn't come, they don't cover the point spread. They don't just go out there and beat teams. They haven't all season.
Well, and essentially they have one excellent wide receiver, and I know you like Jakeem Grant, but I like him too. But he's not, he's
serviceable. He's not a star.
Well, he's not the kind of receiver that's going to help a young quarterback. They force the ball to Parker all the time, and Parker makes some incredible catches. He's a great player. Anyway, this is
he's got better hands. I like him though.
Yeah, I mean Preston, not being there is a big deal for them. I mean, he's a huge target. You throw the ball up and he catches it, right? And this second year in a row, Preston is out for the season. Preston's probably done as a Miami Dolphin. Anyway, Cleveland Browns versus the Tennessee Titans. This is a good ball game. These are two teams that love to run the ball. Cleveland hasn't done that much on offense, but their defense is pretty game. This is going to be a low-scoring game, I believe, and it's going to be a ground and pound. Both teams are going to run the ball quite a bit. I actually like the Browns here to cover because they're getting 5.5 points. I would play the Browns here, I believe. George?
This is actually my third leg of my 10-point teaser. I went under the 63.5. I think it's
53.5.
Yeah, but I have a 10-point teaser, so it's 63.5. I'll educate you more off the air, though. We can do that later. But yeah, I went under 63.5 on my 10-point teaser there, and I actually like Tennessee to run all over Cleveland this week. So I wouldn't lay the 5.5, but I did play with my teaser, and maybe a money line bet might be worth it because Cleveland's not going to beat Tennessee.
Caveman.
Yeah, I agree. I like the Texans here a lot, or the Titans here a lot. I'm sorry. The Titans were impressive last week against the Colts, and I think the Colts have a much better run defense than the Browns do, even though the Browns' defense is formidable. But I like both these teams to be able to run and the Titans to do it better, and I like them to cover.
All right, we got the Saints at the Falcons.
I'm just going to say it now, trap game.
For the Saints, yeah, for sure. I agree with that. I don't play this one at all. I think I'd leave this one alone. This one's highly unpredictable. And I think George is right. If I am playing it, I'm taking the Falcons and the 3 points. The Falcons will play much, much better. They're not blowing games. There's enough talent on that team to play with anybody. And
my boys at UWager are telling you, bet Atlanta. I mean, it's so obvious the line that they're telling you to bet Atlanta. It's a bad line. It shouldn't be 3. It probably should be pick, but the public's going to bet the Saints anyways. All the wise guys will be all over Atlanta.
Yeah, I like Atlanta here too. Captain Caveman?
Yeah, it's that minus 125 there that gives it away. But definitely, Falcons are playing a lot better, and they have something to play for. We'll see. I like the Saints to win the game, but I don't know about covering. I'm staying away from it.
All right. Another good ball game. Got the LA Rams that are at the Arizona Cardinals. Both of these teams are somewhat of a mystery, and I'm starting to believe that division is overrated. And I'm pretty sure that we talked about this Tuesday, is that I think Seattle's still the best team in that division, especially now that they're running the ball. This is a tough one. If I'm playing it, which I might, thinking about it, I probably am going to take the Rams here to bounce back. I think they have a much better defense. They have a championship caliber. They've been to a Super Bowl. I think Arizona is still trying to figure out how to win games. Every game comes down to the wire. With them, it took a miracle for them to beat the Bills at the end of that game. They lost last week. I think that the Cardinals are young and still trying to figure out some things. So I'm taking the Rams here. George?
Yeah, I'm actually playing the same thing. I'm playing the Rams. I'm laying the 150 on the money line because I hate the points there. Arizona's so unpredictable. They look good. They look bad, but they always seem to kind of lose the games. They're not really getting, they're not really taking advantage of everything they have. They're really young. They're going to be good, but I think the Rams are better. And after losing last week, this is bounce back spot.
Cardinals do not put teams away at all. And they play it very close to the vest, and they don't they rely too much on him running the ball, and I'm just not sold on the Cardinals just yet. Captain.
The Rams have had trouble all season with mobile quarterbacks. If they don't have a mobile quarterback, they do a pretty good job at teeing off on them with that pressure up the middle. And when they do have a mobile quarterback, they can get out wide. They have trouble containing them. I like the Cardinals offense to put up points here. I am not playing this game because it's a division rivalry and I really don't like it. I don't like that minus 125 if I were to take Arizona, which I'm tending towards. But if I had to play it, it would be Arizona.
All right. We another good ball game here. You got the New England Patriots versus the LA Chargers, even though their records don't show it. The Chargers are game. I mean, they're in just about every game. They're a little bit overrated, I think, but I like the Patriots here. I think the experience of Belichick against that young quarterback, even though everybody's going to tell about how great he is, but he hasn't won. And they don't know how to win games either. They know how to put up stats, but they don't know how to win games. And I think Anthony Lynn it may be in trouble there in the next couple of years. The Patriots, this is the season for the Patriots. If they lose this game, they're done. I'm pretty sure they're out of the playoff hunt if they lose this game. Especially they have a tough. I think they have a pretty tough schedule coming up. The Patriots. I mean, how can you not play the Patriots here? I think you got to play them, and that I would pick the Patriots. It's pick them. So, George, who do you pick?
I'm on the opposite side of you. I like the Chargers here. I think they're getting their running back. They're getting their game going better there. They're starting to move the ball a little differently. They're starting to slow down the pace of the game, and I think they're gonna take the Patriots out here.
Captain. Interesting. Austin Eckler is a big addition coming back. You can't understate that. I love the Patriots here. Just look up Bill Belichick's record against first and second year quarterbacks. He confuses rookie quarterbacks. I like him to do it here again and to win pretty handily. I think the pick'em's a gift.
Right. All right. You have the Philadelphia Eagles and incredibly overrated quarterback. Who's now he's not overrated anymore, I guess, against one of the greatest of all time, Aaron Rodgers, in Green Bay. Philly's getting 9 points. I am pretty sure that the Packers are just going to blow these guys out. And, I would play the Packers here, and I would actually I would give the points and play it. George?
Yeah, Green Bay usually beats these weak teams, and this looks like a good spot for Green Bay. I mean, Philly's kind of rolling over. I think they got to bring the other kid in and just start him. Wentz is done. So if they don't do something there soon, they're going to make a move. I think it's either this game or next. You'll see him come take over. Green Bay though, like they've had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks back to back and only won 1 championship. So Green Bay is always good, but they never get over the hump. And I think this is another year where they're going to do the same kind of thing. They're going to be good. They're going to be good. They're not going to do shit.
Yeah, I don't know if their defense is good enough to win a championship, but Aaron Rodgers is so good. That offense is so good. They can go deep. It's just really a matter of how deep can they go, and who's going to beat them in the NFC. And I think Seattle can beat them. I think there's a couple teams that can actually beat them, but you can't count out Green Bay.
Green Bay is one of those teams that can lose to anybody, and they can definitely beat anybody because he's so damn good.
Yeah, he is, and if they get on a roll, they could definitely be in the Super Bowl, and they'll get beat by the Kansas City Chiefs. So Jordan, what are you thinking here?
Well, you kind of brought up two different things. And that's how far the Packers are going to go. I tend to agree with you. They're not going all the way this year. They don't have enough weapons. Love Aaron Jones out of the backfield. Love Adams, but what else do they really have? Aaron Rodgers is playing really well. I like them to just destroy the Eagles here. I think the Eagles are done.
This is the good night Wentz game.
Washington or Giants? When was the last time we said that?
Yeah, it's been a while, but you never know. Eagles might still win the division because the division is so bad.
Everybody's only one game out still, so yeah.
I can't. I mean, I've been watching football since the time I was a little kid, and I'm old as fuck. So I don't ever remember a division being this bad. Do you, George? Ever?
No, this is probably one of the worst. I mean, they're going to probably have the worst record going into the playoffs. This whoever wins the division will have the worst record going into the playoffs. I'm sure we'd have to probably look that up to see what it is. But
yeah, it's got. I mean, there should be a rule, and we've talked about this before. If you can't win at least 8 games or 7 games, you should let another team from another division go. I mean, what the hell? You haven't earned shit, right? But you play in the division you play in, right? You never know. I mean, if you never know. The only team I think
the division shit's kind of corny, and the NBA kind of exposes it more than everybody else. I think the division thing should be rerouted and just have the top NFC teams, the top AFC teams, and rank them straight down. The divisions kind of makes it silly, and I think they should start getting rid of that kind of thing, especially going into the
rivalries, though.
But going into
the rivalries, so important.
But going into the playoffs, I think you'll see better playoff matchups. You'll see better games.
Yeah. All right, we got the Denver Broncos versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are giving 14 points to the Broncos. Chiefs are at home. I don't know. Is their quarterback back? George, are you playing quarterback again this week for the Broncos?
No, they actually got all their guys back. They got all their guys back. Everybody's healthy. If they would have just gave them a couple days off like they did the Ravens, they would have had a starting quarterback, but I guess Denver didn't earn themselves enough.
I mean, George, for
bullshit.
Three of the quarterbacks walked to a meeting without a mask, so the league had to come down really hard on them because nobody's done that before. Gotten out of their car without a mask.
They had a meeting together. The 3 quarterbacks were meeting together, going over tapes, and that's what they're saying that they broke protocol.
How's that breaking? I don't know what the protocol is.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, they didn't have masks on, so that's why they're punishing them. And it wasn't even all the time. There was a video that he took his mask off to talk to somebody, and that's why they're punishing him. The wife actually did a whole report, sent out a big scathing email to the NFL about it, saying that they were wrongfully accused of not doing the right protocol.
Yeah. And in typical NFL fashion, the NFL said, "Fuck you, we don't care."
Yeah.
We're sticking right.
Yeah, so back to the game here. I like the Chiefs here, regardless. But I don't know if I play this game. At 14 points is probably too many. I'm assuming that Denver's quarterback is going to be back and playing. He has looked really good at times. And he's looked really bad at times, but KC is just too much. And I know it's a division game, but I think KC's just too much for him. George?
Yeah, but the 14 points is really holding me back from playing this game at all. I stay away from it. I can see a Denver backdoor cover here as well.
I'm not saying that the Chiefs can't win this game by 14 points. I just don't think they do win this game by 14 points. I like the Broncos here. I like their players to come back angry after what the league did to them with something to prove that they don't suck that much. And the Chiefs will let off the gas, and it's a division game. I'm absolutely playing the Broncos there.
This is an interesting one. You have the Buffalo Bills, who have been playing very well, and you have them going to not San Francisco. They're going to Arizona, and they're going to be playing in Arizona against the Niners, and the Niners are getting 1 point here. I don't understand this line. I love Buffalo here. I mean, you've taken San Francisco out of their element. You put them into Arizona. From what I've heard, they're going to be there for the entire holiday season, and now they have to play the Buffalo Bills in the Cardinals stadium. I love the Bills here. I think this is basically a pick 'em. I love the Bills here. I would play them all day. George?
It's just a strange game with the neutral field. I mean, SF was actually starting to play better. They're starting to look like a team again, but I can't play this game with a neutral field. Buffalo's not so great on the road. I just stay away.
I don't read that much into the neutral field, really, just because with no fans in the stands pretty much across the board, all the fields feel a little bit more neutral, you know? But, yeah, I'm staying away from this one. San Francisco looked great beating the Rams, who I had ranked pretty high before that happened.
Yeah,
and Buffalo I like, but you never know if they're going to show up, and San Francisco's getting healthy. So
I went through that whole San Francisco fooled me earlier in the season when they had a big win. I forget it against who, and then I picked them the next game, and then they got absolutely demolished that next game. And so I'm not convinced that they're going to be consistent. I think that they played last week against a division rival. They know that team incredibly well. They it's just different when you know a team, and that's why those division games are always so competitive. Miami Dolphins destroyed the 49ers, and I know that they're healthier and they have some players back, but with all the COVID thing happening, Buffalo's in a great position here to win this game, I think. But we shall see. All right, so wait, we missed the game here. Where's the Cowboys and the Ravens?
They're playing Wednesday. There's no lineup yet, or Tuesday, and there's no lineup yet.
That would be why.
Yep.
I see. So, George, if you're putting a line on Cowboys Ravens, what do you think that number is?
I think I make the Ravens about 12.
12, really?
Even though it's a short week and they're going to have their guys rested because they were off for the COVID, I still think they beat the shit out of the Cowboys. The Cowboys completely disappointed in me last week.
Let's call it 10.5. Let's say Cowboys are getting 10.5. Jordan, who do you like? Ravens, Cowboys at 10.5.
I mean, Ravens were all kinds of missing people last week, and that Steelers game was ugly a couple nights ago. So I don't know. The one point was the Trace McSorley looked pretty good, but McSorley. No, I'm not playing it one way or another because just not.
Where's the game, George?
It's in Baltimore. Dallas is trash, guys. I mean, I'm telling you, but Dallas is trash. There's nothing left. There's no heart. They're just there. I mean, Zeke comes out and fumbles the ball. There's no one is even trying anymore. Zeke is the worst running back in the NFL right now. It's scary. So he's the worst starting running back.
Yeah, Zeke got paid. Zeke got paid, and then I think he's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to hurt myself."
He cashed out. He cashed out. And his mind is somewhere else.
Yeah. And so here's my take: is that the Ravens have to win. They absolutely have to win. They're going to be pissed off about what happened with the COVID situation. Their star, last year's MVP, who hasn't had a great year. And Jordan, maybe you think he has because you play too much damn Madden.
He's had a terrible year. The Ravens, they're out of the playoffs right now.
Well, they're out right now. That's why they have to win.
They have to win.
And the Cowboys do not have to win. They prove that on a weekly basis. I think the Ravens absolutely destroyed the Cowboys this week. They come in with a chip on their shoulder. I don't care what the line is, 10.5, 12. I would play. I would bet on a pissed off Ravens team to go in and beat a crazy underachieving Dallas Cowboy team. I think that this is the perfect sort of emotional motivation for these guys because this is a playoff team. I mean, as hard as I've been on the Ravens, are the Miami Dolphins really a better football team than the Ravens? I mean, I would love to say they are, but not yet. But
look to see the Ravens run the table to the end of the season.
You may see the Ravens run the table, and in fact, this whole COVID thing may have been the best thing to happen to Lamar Jackson. It may have been the best thing to happen to their team because now they are a team that is very tough, talented, and now their backs up are against the wall. I don't know if anybody wants to see the Ravens.
They just came in with this huge head and they got socked in the damn head, and now they're healing finally, realizing we're not that damn great, and they're gonna have to come play again.
Well, they definitely
that's
played.
what's
I mean, the game on Wednesday or yesterday, they played hard. I mean, they played really hard. They made the game interesting. There's obviously just without Jackson there. That's one of the problems with that whole deal is when you build your offense around such a dynamic player like that, and he gets hurt. Who's his backup? I mean, you can't.
That's why they have RG3, who's supposed to have a similar skill set.
You know what? RG3 didn't look so bad. He didn't look so bad yesterday until he got hurt. He looked all right.
Thank you. Right. It's RG3 can't do what Lamar Jackson does because he gets hurt all the time. I mean, he can't. I mean,
right.
He had that one run. He comes up holding his hamstring. I mean, come on, man. It's RG3. RG3 actually reminds me a little bit of Lamar Jackson. Came into the league. He had one great season. Everybody, oh, he's the greatest thing ever. And he got hurt, and he was never the same. So we'll see. But I think that the Ravens will be on fire. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl or anything like that, but I think they're going to make a run to the playoffs.
Oh, they should make the playoffs. Look at who they have left. They got the Cowboys, Jaguars, Bengals, Giants, and then Browns.
Wow.
The Browns might be tough. The rest of those, they should definitely win.
Yeah, they could easily win out. Yeah, and they should win out. They'll be motivated unless unless Lamar Jackson starts feeling great about himself again. But I think what they needed was probably to be humbled, and I think they were humbled. So, So we'll see. George, parting words. Don't get George. Don't.
I give you guys my teaser. I'm sober gambling this week. I got the Vikings, I got the Raiders, and I got that under. I think the Tennessee under. I think that's an easy teaser this week. Go out and get it. But yeah, don't drink so much this week.
You started with drink a lot this week.
Okay, so Jordan, any final words to at least combat or differentiate your advice for people going through the COVID world right now? Any advice? Because George's advice, it sucked. It was really bad. So you got to, enlighten everybody with something positive, Jordan. Let's see what you got. What you got?
I'm going the other way. I think it's a really good time to focus on yourself, to stop drinking, stop smoking. People aren't socializing as much, you get some time, do a little bit of working out maybe. I don't know if that's your thing, eat well, enjoy yourself, and make some money gambling.
Well, there you go. You heard it here. Jordan, a.k.a. Captain Caveman, says don't drink. He said don't smoke. He said be positive, get some exercise, eat healthy, and spend some time with your family. George, I gotta say, his advice is much better than yours. Let's see the contrast here. So we're gonna leave you with this. George's
this is when you can really tell the alcoholics, because before they were social drinkers,
get hammered drunk, smoke a bunch of ganja, and bet on football. And Jordan went the other way with be healthy, take care of your family, eat well, don't drink, don't smoke. So
and bet on football.
I think your advice is a little more sustainable, Jordan. That's going to do it. Like, share, all that. We appreciate everybody for watching. See ya.
No football today. You're going to have to talk to the family.
Yeah.